to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
You have never slapped your nuts with a spatula. Trust me.
Now, what's better, though? A full-on flat spatula or one with some, like, slotted design action?
What is better or hurts?
I mean, I think I have the answer. I think I know from the way that my mom used to wield the slotted spoon around that. So the slotted wooden spoon.
I feel like the slotted spoon would hurt more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you also have the opportunity to break out the slots while you're smacking down on somebody, which is just great.
Although there's more surface area.
I think the little edges
are
really what...
Ooh, okay, so points of focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
like
what makes
edges.
Or like one with a hole in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to sting some more.
I could see that.
Than just like a blunt thing with no holes in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if the belt you got hit with was a flat belt versus maybe one that's woven.
Yeah.
Like a woven leather belt. You know, that woven one might little extra dimply surface area.
I never
for
got
you.
popped with a woven, but I certainly got popped with a flat leather.
I mean, I got belted. I don't remember what the fuck kind of belt it was. Regardless, it fucking hurt like a motherfucker. But you know,
my dad had the wide belts, like cowboy belt. You know, small footballs.
As long as he's not smacking you upside the head with the buckle.
Not with the belt, not with the buckle itself. But, you know, to support a huge cowboy-sized fucking belt buckle, he didn't have one of these, like, Levi Dockers.
He didn't have a 50-style skinny belt.
No yuppie woke-ass.
No, he had
business.
A country boy wide belt.
Yeah, something that I could do serious pull-ups with, smack my child with, or rope a hog with.
I mean, I would assume that's the kind of belt they would have in multiple places in the store, depending on what kind of tool you were looking for.
Yeah.
Do you need a belt? Do you need a child beater?
Do you need an oil filter removal?
Yeah. Do you need a belt for your engine?
Yeah.
You know, for the AC compressor?
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. We got that. It's the same fucking thing.
Do you need a headband? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same
part number.
Yeah.
You're saving on UPC symbols.
Yeah. Shit. We just...
Yeah. Yeah, back then it was just the gun, right?
Yeah, the little gun.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Sad Dads Club Podcast episode, I don't know.
294, I think.
It's apologetic time.
Oh, it is?
So my wife, who is in the UK with my daughter...
Yeah.
I don't remember what time it was, but she have had some downtime, and out of nowhere I get, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Hey now.
You got busted.
And I went, what? I will say this. We were talking last week, about smut books, novels. What?
Oh, yeah.
Like adult shit.
Right.
And I can't remember in what context.
With what's his name
with
on
the etchings and the slogans and the whatever on Stanley bottles.
Right. These.
I was adding color in general to what adult women or men may be reading as far as like these adult novels, and I was using vivid imagery like double enders and stuff like that. And my wife was very concerned.
She was adamant
that I was portraying her reading material as that kind of material.
Well, if it makes you feel any better,
yes,
that's exactly how I do.
Oh, yes. So she reads adult stuff.
Yeah. What's the difference at this point?
Because right. But not.
What is her video library like?
Yeah. I'm not even going there.
She's not here. We
Yeah.
can let's do a remote show.
I'm getting fucking He-Man backslapped all the way across the Atlantic. She's a very classy lady. And she's not reading that kind of stuff. Now, that's not to say that those kind of novels and whatevers are bad, and you should be ashamed of reading those. She wanted me to disassociate.
Like this action.
Yeah, spread the cheeks. She wanted me to disassociate how I was amplifying how crude the material was versus what she actually reads.
I mean, I feel like we're splitting hairs a little bit.
I have to go to the mat to save my wife's character. And I assured her, I'm like, no, I was just talking about, she's like, yeah, but now it makes it look like I'm reading shit with double enders and I can't remember what other joke and thing I was riffing on. Anyway.
Monkey rockers.
Yeah. Shit. I just got down and squatted on the donkey. Like, no, that's no.
Oh, well, whatever.
Anyway.
It's all good, Venus.
Hashtag I love my wife.
Now we're going into your video library.
Yeah.
I kid, of course.
Right. I
don't slap me through my text messages.
I don't think she has any video. Well, maybe she does. I don't know.
Yeah, you might not even know what's on her.
It's like all of her
iPad.
Just realized we're probably some of the only. Well, the Argonauts didn't go anywhere. Like Sarah's out on a cruise, and my wife's in the UK, and Angie and Mike are in the UK. Fucking.
And hey, I'm going to Portland for a day.
Oh yeah, I'm not leaving anywhere
for one whole day.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, they're having a good time. I've seen a bunch of pictures.
Nice.
I asked Piper last night, what's the best thing you've eaten or drank so far?
Yeah.
Like at the top of her list. So they went to Stockholm for the Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah. With lots of other Americans, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she said she had a Swedish strawberry lemonade of all things. I have no idea if she took a picture of it. She just told me in text that it was really, really good.
Nice.
And then she sent me, I can't remember specifically the name of the dish, but it looked like a white sauced pasta with maybe like some sort of green, like okra. I couldn't quite tell. Like a thin, maybe a cucumber, a thin green round
zucchini.
It could be. Yes, it could have been that. I'm not quite sure.
I would think it would be weird with cucumber, but
hey, fucking who knows? And then she said, the night before they had Chinese food at some place, and she's like, it was the best fucking Chinese food
Really?
I have ever had. Yeah, of all things, Chinese food.
in Sweden?
No,
Or
that
the
was
UK?
somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, that's weird. We made the mistake one time in London to go to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
It was terrible.
Was it?
Oh, it was terrible.
We were in Scotland.
Ugh.
God damn it. We were in Scotland. We had taken a ferry with a car that we had rented. And, I mean, it's probably been a couple of years at this point if I told the story on here. So we had taken a ferry, and then we drove to our next hotel. And by then, because, the day is over a lot earlier over there than it is for Americans here.
Yeah.
So things are shutting down by
It's
8
hours difference.
Yeah.
I believe. for
So
the Pacific.
things shut down for like dinner well before you would think as an American. So
you mean as far as timing for dinners and
Yes,
stuff? Yeah,
yeah.
they don't tend to stay open.
No.
late-ish.
No,
Yeah.
there was not. So we ferried over, we drove to the hotel, and it was dark-ish. I want to say it was near 8, and we were all, the way that the commute and the driving worked, we just missed a meal. And then we got hungry. We went into town, and there was like a catch-all stall kind of restaurant, like in a slip. And they had everything and anything you could pretty much come up with, like on a menu, and it looked straight up like diner, like with the pushed in menu letters with like lines kind of a thing, plastic letters pushed in. And God damn it, what did we see? It was taco chips cheese. And
so was that like a nacho? Or was it?
It was like a loaded nacho, but with French fries instead of chips, and it was taco seasoned meat.
Okay.
With cheese and squeezy like like nacho. It looked and sounded so American atrocious that we bought it just to be like as a joke.
Yeah.
And then there's like a meme of me sitting on a toilet that I made my wife take a picture of just to fake it so I could put taco chips, cheese, and something colon blow or something like the best colon blow. It is.
Well, because in our world, taco chips would be tortilla chips,
right?
But chips over there is French fries,
right? And it was taco, comma, chips, comma, cheese.
Okay.
So it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, not taco chips, taco, comma. And that was the joke. When we looked at it and we ordered it, we were just like, there's no way this is healthy.
Or good.
This is someone that came up with the menu item. Or like, eventually we'll get Americans in here.
Yeah.
Like, what is the most, like, I don't know, just put the calories in the bin and then add cheese.
Yeah.
It was just something that you would get at a fair at the, Cal Expo, and you would hate yourself, but you'd be like, yep, this is how Americans do it.
Yeah.
And anyway.
It's like that show they have on Food Network, Carnival Eats.
I haven't seen it.
It's just the host goes around all the carnivals all across the country.
Oh, yeah?
He's even been at Cal Expo and the Placer County Fairgrounds right here.
Oh, yeah?
But he just goes around and finds the good or unusual like foods at the fairs.
Yeah.
And then he'll like make it with the people who make it, and then he'll try it and, interview people about it. It's kind of neat. Carnival Eats, if you ever get a chance.
Who's the host?
I don't know his name.
God damn it. It's not Guy Fieri?
No, it's not a normal guy.
Oh.
I had a dentist appointment yesterday just to get my teeth clean.
Yeah.
And she was saying that the whole dentist office, they must have closed down and they went to Anaheim and did some training, but the dentist, he's making way too much money. He paid for all of them to go to Disneyland, and he has a buddy who has a Club 33 membership.
Oh, shit.
So they got to go on the guest member, the guest, and go to Club 33.
Oh.
And she was telling me it was all like French. Like, she didn't even know what most of the stuff was on the menu. And
wow.
The only thing that she could see on the menu that she even recognized was a salmon dish.
Yeah.
So that's what she ordered, was salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
is that stuff really already paid for? Or is it?
No.
So they had to pay a huge price for some frilly dish that they didn't even know.
Yeah. Well, he paid for the.
Oh, he paid. Okay.
I think he paid for all of the.
I mean, getting to the location is probably the hardest part of that. Paying is just like, a really stupidly expensive dish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd make that work too.
It was a bunch of them. It was like the whole office. So it was like him and I assume the ladies at the front desk and all of the, what do you call them? The hygienists. They probably have like 4 or 5 hygienists and like his assistant and all that kind of stuff. They all went to this thing in Anaheim, and he paid for the whole trip and the hotels, and then Club 33 and their whatever it cost for him to get him into Disneyland. I assume that was part of. No. He probably didn't have to pay anything if he was on someone's guest, a Club 33 member's guest, because I think that's part of the membership.
Is it?
Well, I think you get up to a certain number of people you can bring in at one time. I don't know.
I mean, for what is it?
I think it's
50.
$25,000 to join, and then $15,000 a year, or something like that. It's like a
Christ.
Yeah.
Could you, man? Like,
someone's doing it.
who?
Lots of people, because there's a fucking wait list for that shit.
God,
Like a years long wait list to get
Damn.
on to Club 33 membership.
that's what always pissed me off about Kings tickets.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing basketball, like this is probably 10 plus years ago. I think between Ian and another friend, it might have been Rob through whatever connections he had with Verizon that he was with at the time. I went to a good chunk of Kings games.
Yeah.
Like, I would totally buy season tickets. Like, I would show up and, we're up at the top, but if I had tickets, I would go all the time.
Right.
Absolutely. More so than I would go snowboarding with the season pass.
Right.
And it was always like, yeah, join a waiting list. There's a huge waiting list for season tickets for the Kings. And this is like Arco Arena era.
Yeah.
Like, can't get them. Absolutely can't get them. Games I would go, I'd show up, and there'd be tons of stuff up at the top. Like, I would come and sit in the seat.
Well,
Sell me a ticket.
I think it's a percentage thing of how many seats. I don't know what the percentage is, but only a specified percentage of seats can they offer up as season tickets, because the rest they need to be available to sell as
That's horseshit.
normal
I mean, it makes
tickets.
sense. But it was like, yeah, and a consistent amount of seasons sold out. I'm like, fucking, I'm here, and there's seats all around me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
would-
that's the thing too. Is a lot of people that have season tickets, they don't end up going.
Yeah. Man, if you ain't showing up, your shit goes back into the
Yeah.
hopper, and you get, maybe I'll let you prorate how many games you went to, but if you're not going to show up, I would go. I
Yeah.
would have spent that money. And I was so just exhausted with, I think maybe at the time, maybe it was before the kids. It was like, I have money
Yeah.
to spend.
Two seats. I need
Yeah.
2 seats.
That's it.
Yeah.
I would spend it, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't even think twice. And I could never pull it off. It was
Huh.
never available. Like,
And did you put yourself on the wait list and stuff?
yes,
Huh.
never contact me. Never did.
Huh.
Go to a game, look up.
Maybe they Googled you and they're like, I don't know about this
They're
guy.
like, he doesn't do anything. He just works from home. He doesn't do anything. Like, why would we? Anyway. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, so that's funny to see. I mean, it's not even like a Club 33 at Disney thing. Like, the season passes, whatever they call their season pass product now at Disneyland, like there's a waiting list for that. So the plebeian version of the Go all season pass, I think there's a waiting list for that too.
Well, it's weird. Disneyland has like they have a bunch of tiers for
Yes.
their season, whatever you call them, season passes. Melly had one when she lived in Fullerton for school,
Mhm.
and she would go all the time. She went to Disneyland dozens and dozens of times.
Good for her.
But they
Use
have
that
different tiers. They have tiers, like if you're buying a season pass, obviously you probably live local.
Mm.
So you could buy the cheap one that has a bunch of blackout dates that you can't go on some specific time frame, or
Yeah.
then they kind of tier them up like that. So you buy the expensive one, you can go any day, kind of thing.
Mm.
She would just go and hang out. They would go and like kind of shop around and then
I want a corn dog.
sit on a bench somewhere and like they would bring food and just eat there.
I mean, it's fun to people watch for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
I would get a kick out of that.
And if you have a season pass and you're going all the time, there's no, you're not in like a hurry to go do. You might be like, oh, while I'm here,
Right.
I want to ride whatever it is. You're not in a like, fuck, I only have a day and a half.
Okay, so we have to hit here
Yeah.
next, and then there. Okay, we got to fast pass the lightning lane for the over there,
Right.
And then we beep beep beep. You're like,
For her, it didn't matter.
I'm gonna go get a Dole Whip, and then
Parking was included. Getting into the park was included. It didn't cost you anything to go. other than gas to get there.
Mm.
You know, so for her, she would just go and hang out and do whatever. There's no expectations that you have to do anything when you're there.
Yeah.
You might just have seen a bench at some point you were there in the past and said, I want to hang out on that bench and just chill.
Mm.
You know?
I haven't sat on that one yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Maybe that's a thing. You sit on every bench in the park.
And fart.
And fart.
Like,
yeah.
I've pink-eyed every single one of these benches here right in front of Cinderella's castle.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stay safe.
Like, I can't imagine having the time to do that. My wife, for a while, was watching somebody on live doing TikTok lives.
Yeah.
And they were at the park every single day. And they would just be, like, walking around the park, talking to their people, and people would be, like, watching them, and they would be like, we're going to go over to Space Mountain now. And then it's just be them walking with whoever they're with, and they get in line at Space. Okay, we're in line at Space Mountain. And then they would get on Space Mountain and ride it live, and they'd get off and, that was fun, yeah. You know? And then I don't know, what do you want to do? And then they'd be like, well, the park's closing. Do you think we can make it over to blah, blah? And they're like, yeah, we can probably do that. And then they'd rush over to wherever it was, and they would and she would watch it. She ate that shit up.
Venus does that too. Like,
does she?
I've been walking with Venus before and seen Venus, like, whiplash her head and be like, "Ooh, that's the."
Oh yeah, Shan's done that too.
Like, what? She's like, "Oh, I watch all of her stuff."
Oh, that is
she does
so funny.
She does the food tasting.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my god, I love it," and like walking over. I think at least one of them, she's like walked over and went, "Oh, I love your stuff."
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh shit, this is what?"
Was there a double ender involved?
Yeah, like a big old floppy 17.
Sorry.
I love your
I had to do it.
Love your content.
So, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I would love to have that kind of time, to just like be able to, double under people all the time.
Yeah. He's like, you going on Pirates? Yeah, well, just put this in your asshole for me. We'll just butt to butt it.
No, I mean, just I always thought that would be really cool to like live somewhere near, 20 minutes away from Disneyland or something.
Sure.
And then just go. Just be like, I just got off work. Throw some food down the pie hole and let's go to the park for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Just hang out.
Yeah. I kind of feel like riding Splash Mountain today.
Yeah.
I got a change of clothes in the car. Let's just go.
Yeah. I'd just be a good Samaritan. There are people that need a camera.
Sir, give me your tongs. Let me pick up trash for you.
Yes. You guys want a break?
I would like to broom all that for you.
Give me your bow tie and give me the apron. I'll pick up trash. I'll just do it right here in the circle. No one will know.
You'd end up in jail.
Probably.
Disneyland jail.
Like, hey, I know that right over there's the Mickey dude who's going to take a picture and put it on your pass or whatever, but I'll hold your phone. Do you need me to?
Yeah.
I'll take your picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always like to be the guy that sneaks in the back of people's pictures.
Oh, photobomb?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I do it. I try to do it anywhere I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always people taking pictures around. You just if you can time it right,
No.
you get in people's pictures.
Especially the way that like live pictures work.
Oh yeah, you get to see the whole thing happen.
There's like, nowadays it's not like a snap. It's not a moment.
Right.
Most cameras, in order
It's
to
like
get
a 5 second.
Yeah. There's a stream of consciousness happening on your camera.
Yeah.
And while you see the picture, that 2 seconds before, I pantomimed a wet willy, and it's on there. Just watch the live one.
Right.
And you got, or peace signed, or rabbit ears, or wet willied, or oh fuck, know.
Yeah.
Double ender.
Yeah, I like doing that stuff for some reason because I'm a fucking juvenile. So, did you do anything this weekend? Considering you got half the family's gone. Were you busy?
I've been hammered busy.
Yeah.
Like honest, I've got tons of yard work still to do.
Yeah.
Xander and I, it's pretty much how we called it. He still has school, and he just had his AP Euro test, but his finals are next week, and he had an AP Euro test on Monday, and we were balls to the wall, like studying stuff like all weekend. Like we put in hard time.
Yeah.
There's a study pattern that's net new. I was telling my dad this. And we've talked, I think, at length about the disparity between how our generation does homework and would study for things versus our kids.
You mean like on Instagram?
Yeah. He picks stuff up, but the homework and all school, the bulk of school stuff, and the way that it's a lot of curriculum is taught now. It's like you get that dump at school, and then if you need to study, you come up with that program or that initiative on your own. But there's no teacher that's going to give you. You need like a directive. Like this class, you will put in X amount of hours here on campus, and in order to do well, you need to earmark 1 hour every, kind of a thing.
Shouldn't that be part of the syllabus though? I mean,
you would think so, but it's not. It's not.
Or is that like an AP thing? Like if you're in an AP class, they just expect that you know how to study or whatever, right? I assume. Because I don't know. Like when I was in high school, it seemed like first day of class was like, here's my syllabus, or here's the expectations of, blah, blah, blah. And I even had a teacher at one point, like he would spend time with the class the day before a test, and go, here's your study guide. And he would go through everything. I think all you had to do was take notes.
I think they have some of those resources.
Yeah.
But it's my perception is that it is presented in a manner that makes it feel like it's totally optional, as opposed to you need to be doing this.
Yeah.
And while he does well in the class,
that feels college-like.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Ace's homework does well on tests where it's identified where the test is, so he could do some studying for tests. It was relatively the same for Piper, but a pop quiz that you would if someone was actually manually putting in an hour a night to study a thing on your own, not as part of an assignment, they would do perfectly fine on the quizzes. But someone that's not given that specific directive, a pop quiz absolutely destroys him. I didn't study for that because I did the homework, but I didn't above and beyond study.
Right.
And so the quizzes hurt.
That was me. That was me in high school for sure.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, I would do the homework and turn the homework in.
So we saw, between he and I, we need to get to here. I'm going to start towing you effectively with how I would handle this class, and we're going to do that so that way we assure you're prepared for a pop quiz or a test or the AP test. And that has meant we're putting in intentionally an hour plus a night to review stuff.
So that was the AP Euro history test, right?
Yes.
And so he took it, but you won't know what the results are until
summer.
Until summer.
And then he took his test on Monday, and he nailed it. He got like an 80%.
So the AP Euro history test is a state thing or federal thing?
It's a federal.
So that doesn't that doesn't really have any bearing on your class grade.
Correct. So you, in order to get the, it's like a thing out of 5, I believe. The score of the actual AP test is a score out of 5. You get credit for the course towards your college credit if you get a 3 or higher. But in order for that to count, you have to have a C or higher in the high school class.
Right.
So if you get a 4 and you get a D, you get nothing. If you get a C...
And you'll like it.
Right. If you get a C or an A, but you got a 2 on the actual test, you get nothing. You don't get any.
Fancy.
Yeah. You did a nice GPA nail, but you don't get course credit towards the...
And AP classes, are they worth more AP?
Yeah.
They're worth more for your grade point average.
Yeah, they count as more.
Yeah.
So that's our focus, and we're not at each other's throat or anything like that. I'm like, if you want to be,
I feel like you're not doing it right.
Right. If you want to do well, this is what we have to do. Yes.
That's way too reasonable.
I know. So
where did you ever have to get the belt out?
Yeah. Did I have to get the belt? Shit. Right.
Or a wooden spoon?
Yeah. I will.
Or maybe did someone get grounded at least?
No, you know what it is? I turned off the Wi-Fi. That's the fucking spoon with spikes.
Oh, boy.
Morningstar type of shit.
That's worse than any belt or spoon.
Hey, if you're going to put in time, you can have the Wi-Fi on your tablet. But nope. So on Sunday, in lieu of going over some review stuff, we watched the first block of that Turning Point.
Oh, yeah. How did you like it?
It was very, very well put together.
Right.
And I'm very, very ashamed about what happened with Japan. Like,
why Japan got to where they did?
Why we dropped, and you could see that.
The actual drop in the bomb.
Right. Like, I get it. We're at war.
Yeah.
But the targets, and you could see the
people just
Truman.
living their life.
Truman, like, absolutely drop it, 100% drop it, and then once the things start, and the American public like ate it up, absolutely, yeah, for fucking jobs,
right?
Like the amount of camps, the racial tension towards and demeaning of the Japanese culture, Pan-Asian culture, hurts me.
Yeah.
Hurts me.
Yeah.
But you could see, like, once the reports of the amount of dead in
that's rough.
Hiroshima.
Because it wasn't like it was a military target.
Right. There was a military installation.
Sure.
But the entirety of Hiroshima was not.
Right.
And then Nagasaki was a backup to the original secondary target because of cloud cover. So
just randomness almost.
War.
Yeah.
War sucks.
Well,
God damn it.
When I watched, it's not like it. Nate Bargatze had a funny thing that he was talking about where he was saying, I love history, but I don't know anything about it. And when I watch films like Pearl Harbor, I'm as surprised as they are.
Oh.
But,
yeah.
So it's not like you don't know that we dropped these bombs.
Right.
It's not like this is a surprise, but the political, social ramifications of what actually took place were. It's
sure. I thought it was.
It's really hard to like. Now looking back on it, it's really hard to justify it.
It's awkward. Like I thought it was telling that the American sentiment was like. Rah, 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 absolutely, 100%, yep.
Well, it was a different time.
Them, I'm glad we dropped the bomb. And then
it was a different time then.
Sure, but then like a month or so later, the journalist wrote, the New Yorker gave some journalist like the entire magazine to do a post-bomb drop reporting of what happened, and Americans went, oh, shit.
Right.
Like, because it wasn't, these people are all little monkeys and beasts, and, like, they're all out to get us.
Yeah.
The amount of, fucking Nagasaki was, like, right on a Catholic church. Like,
Right.
oh.
I mean, when you're talking about a full city and you drop this thing right above the center of the city, and it's literally just like kids getting ready for school and walking to school and people in the city just going about their business.
Yeah.
It's tough to make the justification after you see the results, for sure. It was a different time, and it's even tough to say really what even made them surrender. I feel like those bombs may have helped, but I think the lesser of two evils, which was Russia coming in the back door,
Yeah.
really got Japan going, we don't want to deal with them at all. Let's surrender to the Americans, because we feel like we'll get a better
take.
Yeah.
Shake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe part of their thinking in that was that, well, also they just dropped these 2 huge bombs and decimated 2 of our cities. I don't know.
Right. And then what was it? The general was like, we had another one that was 30 days out, but we can do it. Like, we're ready in a couple days. You want to
right.
toss another one? And we are glossing over a huge number of complexities. Like, I'm not saying it was complicated, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There were all kinds of things, and that we're all hypotheticals from many years out at this point.
Yeah, we're armchair quarterbacking
Absolutely.
World War II.
Like, and they weighed. I didn't feel like it was the actual program was weighted one way or another. They certainly covered that there was.
I felt like it was fairly just factual.
Yeah, there was certainly an American problem with the strategic issue that we were going to run into if Russia got there first and started that.
Well, I think
there was a strategic problem with us trying to make headway on Japanese islands that they were absolutely fighting tooth and nail for. There was
you can drop a couple bombs, or you can have thousands of dudes dying.
Right.
That literally tens or hundreds
like, why
of
would
thousands.
I continue to put American lives at risk when I can put this out here and say Americans, right? There was the Japanese looked at their emperor as if he was a descendant of a god.
Right.
So
and he wasn't saying shit.
Right. So
oh yeah.
And then there was some early reporting that they would have, if we would have just edged out a little bit more time, the necessity for a land, like we had them circled.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, they were gonna.
Well, and the Russian problem was coming already.
Right. Like, you were gonna start getting a serious problem with famine and import-export type of shit to feed your people.
Yeah.
Very, very shortly.
Yeah.
Could you have just dialed back American troops from land invasions and just continued a naval, like we had decimated the Navy already? They were pretty hosed.
Yeah.
But it's all hypotheticals at this point.
Right.
It was easier to absolutely take a atomic shit.
2 of them.
Twice.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what happened. It's
Right.
not a secret. But
And then
it's just crazy that it even happened.
Yeah.
The
pissing contest. Hey, man, those bombs were awesome. Let's make a hydrogen one. Like,
yeah.
So I thought it was, in the context of Xander's studies, I thought it was a very useful way to put in context what he is kind of only really reading in text
Right.
and bullet points and outlines, or being regurgitated from a teacher. Like, here is this part of the end of World War II
Yeah.
and the start of the Cold War in reality.
Yeah.
Here are images of, post-war and, Pearl Harbor pictures.
And it gets even better.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
So we covered a good chunk of one of his units without necessarily the sterilized words.
Right.
Like these are battles. These are people dying. These are war crimes. In some cases, these are real economic problems that people were facing. It's this real shit.
When you start getting into the end of like Nazi Germany and how Germany gets divided up amongst the Allies.
Yes.
That's, to me, where the real fascination begins, because you see that division happen of Russia versus the West, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the whole, like, East Germany, Eastern Berlin,
Yes.
Western Berlin, and East Germany, and
Mhm.
West. That whole thing is, to me, like, totally fascinating.
Yeah.
It's bonkers to me, like, that was even a thing, that they walled off
Yeah.
this entire area to prevent people from leaving.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like I was telling Xander, I'm like, it's literally, actually, the grass is greener on the other side, and they didn't want you to know it wasn't figurative. It was actually better on the other side.
Yes.
And if you see it,
You go to Checkpoint Charlie and look across the checkpoint, and you can see all the fancy stores and stuff.
Right. So chicks eating corn dogs with 17-inch double enders
And mayo.
What? Man.
Yeah, no, I think that stuff is really interesting. That whole series was very well put together. I felt like they covered in fairly good detail a lot of things that I didn't know. And one of the things that really blew my mind was when they start getting into the arms race,
Mhm.
and they start talking about some of that. There was one thing in particular when they were talking about the difference between the U.S. and Russia
Okay.
that blew my mind. It was like, oh, really? Wow. Okay. Just
How many episodes are?
it was like maybe second or third episode. It's
Okay.
'cause I think it's only 6 shows,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. But man, it just gets better. I think it just gets better
Okay.
after, because it's like World War II. It's like, okay, that's been hashed up a lot. I feel like I'm into it. Like I really love the history of World War II. But like there are bits and parts of the Cold War aspect of it that you didn't really know, and that show just shed some, like, took a spotlight and went, look at all the shit that you missed.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, wow, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Because the height of that, you were an older kid than I was, but I wasn't. I was way too young to have any understanding of I remember at some point on the news hearing blah, 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 Ronald Reagan, blah, 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 Star Wars, and went, I like Star Wars, but no concept of how it applied, no fucks to give about
as an
ballistic
example,
missiles.
I remember, so in 1989 would have been my senior year, and I was working at the old spaghetti factory. And I remember vividly driving to work and thinking to myself specifically, what happens if we get hit with a nuclear war while I'm at work? What will I do? What's going to happen? Will I be able to make it home? Will my family survive? Will I survive? Will I die at the spaghetti factory? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
These were questions that, like, I would literally be thinking of driving down Hazel
You're like,
to get
the
to
last
work.
thing I did on this planet was make a Mizithra pasta.
I bust a table. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I mean, so it was like we didn't have like the duck and cover drills. I don't think we ever did that as far as
No.
like the 50s was like, that was like
Yeah,
sort
my
of
dad
the
did
top
that,
tier
and-
for that.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that. But that looming threat that seemed like any second or any day or any moment could be the moment when that we both start firing on each other for some dumb reason.
Mm.
That imminent threat was there constantly. It was imminent. And it was frightening. And then when the when the USSR fell,
91.
yeah, and it was like, wow, wait, what? We won the Cold War? Like, what? They still have nukes though, right? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Really. But there's like little bits and pieces in there, like facts of stuff that I had no idea were things
Mm-hmm.
that really kind of blew my mind. One fact in particular I could not believe. I don't want to ruin it for you because I thought it was highly fascinating,
Okay.
and maybe we'll cover that at some point.
Okay.
So,
That's what it is this weekend. What you got? Anything?
I ended up, I had a sprinkler that was blowing like a geyser. Got a text from my neighbor.
Oh, yeah?
Liz says this morning when she was leaving that you got a fountain out front.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out. Sure as shit, like one of the spray nozzles on the top of one of the sprinkler heads just flung off, and it was just shooting of a geyser. So I had to fix that, and then I had a couple other sprinkler heads that just would pop up, but they wouldn't spray, so I had to adjust them.
Mm.
And then yard work, and then I did an oil change in my car or on the CRV.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it. I used a Wix filter
On your CRV?
on the CRV.
Yeah. As you should be.
Well, I have been buying the Fram Ultra Guards
Okay.
at the behest of, how's it going, Dave?
Hashtag hey, Dave.
Because he says they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd been buying those because they have those at Walmart, and then I just buy my oil at Walmart. And then Derek at Vice Grip Garage won't use anything other than Wix.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll give one a try. And they carry Wix over at O'Reilly. So I went over there and picked one up. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I made sushi rice.
Did you?
Yes. So
Did you have sushi with it?
No, because we used it like Xander. I think for Christmas.
Is it only sushi rice if you use it with sushi?
No, I don't think so.
Then
I
it's
think on my I think on the bag it
Is
says
it just
sushi,
Japanese sticky
Japanese
rice?
sushi rice.
Oh, okay. I always just considered it's Japanese like sticky rice or whatever.
I don't know.
You have
What?
a rice cooker?
The Instapot will do rice.
Did it do it good?
Yes.
And it's like clumpy, get a little bit on the clumpy
Well,
side, so it sticks
you
together.
like dress it so that it gets that way,
Like put a T-shirt on it.
like some
Some
the
socks.
pants, no underwear because sushi rice is
Because
balls out.
you want it a little hot and sticky.
Right, exactly. So Xander has like a cookbook with like from anime episodes, like on your face too, with a 17-inch double ender
I
rice.
don't know what's going on tonight. Venus's double ender.
I'm
You
gonna-
use
I'm
that to stir.
I'm gonna
it?
get yeah. Dad, what are you mixing that with? Don't ask. You never
Just
saw.
dip the head in there. I
You
don't know.
never saw.
No,
it.
not that head. The other head.
Yeah, what are you doing? Put your pants up. He had an anime cookbook
That's
from
not
like
what I meant.
oh
That's a double ender.
oh. Why is one end in your mouth and the other end in Instapot? That's how you work these, son.
It's not a straw, buddy.
His anime cookbook, and he had like a posted on a couple of things that he wanted to make. One was like tempura shrimp, but the other was onigiri, so rice balls. So,
All right.
well,
From Japan.
What? straight up shipped from Japan. So I bought a bag of sushi rice
From Japan?
from Rayleigh's.
Oh. Did they ship it over from Japan?
No, it's from California.
Oh, Jesus.
California.
They probably get their rice from Japan. I mean, from California.
I think even some of the Japanese people are getting California rice at this point because
Probably.
we have such a prolific rice
industry, yes.
Yeah. So I've made rice countless of times, but I've never made rice in that manner. So we made rice balls. So you make the rice, and then it's usually like with an unseasoned rice vinegar, sugar, some soy, some salt, and then after the rice is done cooking, you then just pour that over, and then you don't mix it because then you get like almost like a pudding. It'll start.
Oh, it'll start mashing.
You need to like cut it through the rice without destroying the rice kernels.
Grains.
Yeah, the grains themselves. Sure shit. Like it was like sushi rice. Like just minus the fish.
Yeah.
It tasted just like I had just eaten the ball from like Mikuni's.
Okay.
Like one nut.
Okay.
A one nut Mikuni.
I didn't say anything.
And I had bought probably 2 weeks ago like onigiri molds. So we can it's like, and I didn't want to be I didn't want to get cellophane and then like press. Like,
you only want to play with your own balls,
right?
Yeah,
and
I get it.
I don't need cellophane to do that.
Right.
So I had these little molds. I filled it with rice, compressed it, and just seared it in a saucepan.
Okay.
And we have like Kirkland or Costco, like the seaweed snacks that are, it's like a 3x2 type of seaweed
Don't
snack.
care for seaweed snacks?
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh, yeah. So then I wet it and wrapped it, and it looked straight up Japanese presentable onigiri.
Okay.
And I plated, I think I only made enough rice for 4 or 5 rice balls.
Mm.
But it was
awesome.
It was fucking amazing. It was awesome. I'm like, sweet. And he's like taking pictures. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Oh, shit. Well, all right. Yeah.
You're like, I'm Instagram famous now, bitch.
Yeah. Put that on the grams, yo. Well, we made some tempura shrimp.
Nice.
Really simple stuff.
Yeah.
It was, a lot of stuff this week has just been like us studying and covering dad's son shit. Like, what do you want to cook? Like, what happens if this doesn't work? How do you, go into the pantry and like name me a dinner that you can make yourself that's healthy that doesn't involve opening that can of soup or that bag of ramen.
Right.
Right? Like, could you make yourself a dinner if you didn't have access to the stove? Could you use the barbecue? Could you use the Blackstone? Would you know how to use the oven or the broiler in the oven? Certainly, you could walk to the store and get a microwave something. So that is an option. I'm not saying you can't use the microwave, but could you cook yourself a meal without a stove? And could you make yourself, but more importantly, could you make yourself a meal that wasn't trash? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The little like young adult things that with a whole bunch of people in the house, you're just like, I need to get from A to B, and I don't really have time to like one-on-one a lesson right now, but now we have that time, so it's like we're knocking some stuff out.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's been good.
Yeah. We made smash burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shan had some.
Wait, how did you? Yeah.
Beyond. What? She had Beyond smash burgers, and I made
a normal
regular smash burgers.
Yeah.
I have a grill.
I was to say, had you done that yet?
Yeah.
Had you?
Yeah. It's been a while, but I have like a thing that goes over 2 burners on the stove.
Yeah.
And I can flat top thing.
So how does a Beyond it know? Is there anything lost in translation when you're doing a smash burger with the Beyond meat?
Not as far as Shanna's concerned.
Yeah.
Her patty was way bigger than my patties because she was buying just the regular. You can buy She doesn't like Impossible because it's made with soy. She can't really eat soy without some kind of reaction.
Okay.
So she tries to find Beyond.
Okay.
And the Beyond that we could find were patties. And she didn't break them up, but she likes her patty thin, but the patties were really decent size.
Yeah.
So she seasoned them, and then I put them on the thing and smashed them.
Smash it.
But her patties, the Beyond meat doesn't shrink up as much as like a beef patty.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you don't get as much fat cooking off of it and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then because you don't get as much fat cooking off of it, you got to put a little oil on the thing. Otherwise, it's cooking dry.
Mm-hmm.
So we just did the throw onions down on the grill,
Mm-hmm.
smash the patty into the onions, let it get a little bit caramelized-y, flip them, do the same on the other side. Man, those are so good and simple.
Yes.
So good and simple.
I was telling somebody, I'm hard pressed to, it might have been your son. Yeah, I think it was like your son a couple weeks back. So
Yeah.
you were in the chat. It was like, at this point, it's hard for me to go, spend the kind of stupid amount of money it is for a burger at like a Habit or a Smash Burger when at a fraction of the cost. Like doing that on the Blackstone or a griddle attachment. I love mine.
They have the nice crisp caramelization on the meat that I like. The onion is cooked into the meat, so it's like you're smashing the burger into the onion, and then the onion caramelizes too.
Yeah.
And then I put fresh onions on it, and I think this time I put a little bit of mayo on both halves of the bun and some cheese. And that's it. Nothing else went on that burger besides fresh onion.
Yeah.
And the grilled onion. And a little bit of mayo on each side of the patty with some cheese, and that was it.
Yeah.
So good.
Compared to a normal hamburger, I would say mine is minimally dressed as well.
Yeah.
This iteration, Rayleigh sells that. It's like I think it's called cottage bacon. It's like a really thick, not thick. It's a wide cut of like a
pork belly or something.
Yeah, like a hearty bacon strip.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't like crinkle up, and it's not nearly as salty as traditional bacon. It's just like it's somewhere between bacon and a Canadian round Canadian round ham slice.
Yeah.
I cut one of those in half because they're generally pretty big. Some cheese, onions. Mine had a small strip of mayo, and I'm hard pressed to not ever put dill pickles on mine, and that was it.
Yeah,
like decent buns, and
yeah.
The meat for me does, and the onions.
Well,
the onions really. Woo.
Yeah, and when it cooks, I do pepper after smashing it down, pepper and a little bit of garlic salt.
I have a
Yeah.
I think it's shilling. It's a smash.
Oh, seasoning.
Yeah, it's a smash burger spice.
Okay.
I do season my hamburger ball with that, and then mix it, and then season it again. And that's the last time I touch it with a shaker of anything.
I don't even season it. Just ball it up, throw it on the thing, smash it. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of garlic salt, flip it, and that's it.
Many limes.
No.
Double endings.
Oh.
Have you been to any restaurants of late with the kiosks instead of people ordering?
Yeah, Taco Bell.
Really?
Yeah.
We went to I've been there twice now. I went there once with Xander since the girls have been gone. It's over by where Sports Chalet used to be.
Okay.
It's Urban Kitchen.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah.
And they have
local kitchens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have multiple restaurants
in the same
being served
space.
out of the same thing.
Yep.
We went there about 2 weeks back with all the whole family.
Yeah.
And we walked in, and it was you just
order right at the computer.
Order right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no person. I mean, there are people back there cooking it, obviously, but you.
I don't think that they unless you can't figure it out. I don't think they'll take your order.
I haven't. Yeah, I think a lady
It's
came
either
over.
an app or you use their computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it all. I didn't see anyone else when we went there as the whole family. It was pretty much just us there.
Yeah.
When I went with Xander, we did our ordering because both of us were like, "Yep, bing, bing, bing." We yeah, we're fucking pros.
Yeah.
But there were 2 people sitting at tables already eating, and then after we had ordered and we were sitting down just chilling, another family of 3 came in. And kind of looked around like,
what do we do?
There's no one standing at the thing. And then they looked and saw the tablets.
Yeah.
And a person like a concierge-ish, she basically walked them through how to order, but then after she gave the instructions, she walked away.
Yeah.
So it was like, here it is. You do everything here, and the unique thing about our thing is that we have all of the restaurants and multiple types of food in here, blah, blah, blah. But it's all in the tablet. You put it in, and then when you punch it in,
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
And they ended up ordering, but she didn't okay, now, do you guys want fries?
Right.
So you would then select here. This is where it's done.
Giddy up.
Good fucking luck. I thought it was handy too. They had the thing like North Star did when we went up snowboarding and skiing. So I can see on a flat panel. I can see where my order is, and it says 10 to 15 minutes left. 5 to 10 minutes left. Your order is ready for pickup, and then we just turn around and look, and there's someone bagging it. I'm like, fucking, I love that.
Yeah,
I love knowing.
I do too.
It was handy. It was really good. I think Xander has gotten whoever their pizza vendor is both times. First time I got it was like a birria burrito. It was really good.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
And then the last time I went with Xander, I got a fried chicken. There's a Nash and something.
Nash and proper or something.
Yeah. I got a fried chicken sandwich that was it was a
Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah,
sandwich.
It wasn't a processed chicken. It was a
very big piece of chicken.
Yes,
usually what
it was
give
and it looked like a chicken breast. Like it came apart,
right?
Like a chicken meat would, not like a chicken nugget kind of a thing. It heavily breaded like a Kentucky Fried, so it wasn't. Anyway,
delicious.
Yes,
yeah.
I enjoyed both times.
One time Melanie was having a Squishmallow get together thing in Elk Grove.
Okay.
And so we kind of dropped her off, and we had the dog with us, and so we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? We want to get some lunch, and we're like, sure. And then we found they have just a Nash and Proper down there on its own. It's not part of local kitchens. And so we went there, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome. And we sat outside, and the dog was with us, and ate there. And then when local kitchens came to Roseville and found when Nash and Proper was there, was like, fuck yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Because that place is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had something besides the chicken sandwich?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, okay.
Get the fucking...
They have a tenders thing, but I would get that next time. Now, but the chicken sandwich was really good.
They used to have a cauliflower Nashville hot chicken, or cauliflower steak almost.
Okay.
Sandwich that Shan would love to get, and they got rid of it.
Oh.
So we haven't been back.
Oh. Much
because of that. It's been a while since we've been to Nash and Proper, and I really like it.
Do you ever use cauliflower and use it as a rice substitute?
I haven't.
The last couple times I've made fried rice, I have used...
You rice the cauliflower?
Yeah, I just frap the shit out of a head of cauliflower in a blender, and then...
You put it in a blender?
Yeah, and then cauliflower rice. And I make my fried rice with cauliflower.
Somebody I knew was using it for they would rice the flour and then use the cauliflower in pizza dough or something, I want to say.
I'm sure you could. Yeah.
It was like a cauliflower dough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a number of
something like that.
I think even Blaze has a non-dough cauliflower pizza crust.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Fucking fancy.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at time.
Damn.
See how fast that goes?
Yeah.
Food and war.
Talking about war makes me talk about food. Or
yeah.
something.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fucking what?
Yeah, I get it. All right.
Anyway, you should return the cart.
Wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Check your oil, Tony.
Register to vote.
Make the call if you need to.
Pick up a broom.
Do the kindness.
We'll catch you next week.
Did you say vote?
Yeah, register to vote.
Yeah. We'll catch you next week, I guess.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.